Hey Switch fans, welcome back to SwitchTop. The Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for a bit now, and we've had time to really dig into its incredible launch lineup. Today, we're counting down the top 10 perfect 10 out of 10 games that justify upgrading to Nintendo's new powerhouse console. These aren't just good games, these are masterpieces that take full advantage of a Switch 2's hardware. Let's jump right in. Mario Kart World takes the classic kart racing formula and expands it into a bold, interconnected experience that feels both familiar and genuinely fresh. Instead of isolated tracks, races often flow across a seamless world where multiple environments link together, turning each event into a continuous journey rather than a simple 3-lap sprint. The driving remains tight and instantly readable, with drifting, boost management, and item strategy still at the heart of every race. But new mechanics like rail grinding, wall jumps, and precise trick timing reward skilled play and experimentation. Beyond standard races, the open-world structure encourages free exploration, letting players roam across varied biomes to discover challenges, shortcuts, and skill-based trials that naturally improve racing mastery. Large-scale multiplayer races amplify the chaos and excitement, while the expanded environments add a sense of scale rarely seen in the series. There is no traditional story campaign, yet the world itself provides a feeling of progression, as each region blends visual identity, music, and track design into a cohesive whole. Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 together represent a masterclass in 3D platforming, built on precision, creativity, and pure mechanical confidence. Both games revolve around Mario's impeccably tuned movement, where every jump, spin, and landing feels exact, responsive, and deeply satisfying. But they elevate this foundation through inventive, gravity-based level design that constantly reshapes how you read space and momentum. Planets twist beneath your feet, spherical stages demand spatial awareness, and each galaxy introduces new ideas that rarely repeat themselves, keeping the experience fresh from start to finish. The first galaxy leans into a sense of cosmic wonder, letting exploration and atmosphere drive progression as you travel between galaxies, supported by an elegant orchestral soundtrack and a light, emotionally grounded story that frames the adventure. Galaxy 2 sharpens the formula with faster pacing, denser challenges, and a stronger focus on pure platforming ideas, further expanded by Yoshi's unique abilities that open new movement options and puzzle solutions. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, stands as a benchmark for tactical RPG design, blending deep strategic combat with one of the genre's most mature and compelling narratives. Battles unfold on isometric, grid-based maps where positioning, elevation, and turn order are crucial, demanding careful planning rather than brute force. The core of its depth lies in the flexible job system, allowing characters to master multiple classes and combine abilities in meaningful ways, encouraging experimentation and long-term strategy as your party evolves. Every encounter rewards foresight, smart unit synergy, and an understanding of how terrain and timing shape the battlefield. Modern refinements improve clarity and pacing without diluting the original complexity, making the systems feel smoother while preserving their demanding nature. The story elevates the experience further, focusing on Ramza Beolve and his journey through a morally gray world defined by political intrigue, social inequality, and the misuse of power. Instead of simple heroism, the narrative explores loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of truth, presenting characters with believable motivations and consequences. Trails in the Sky, First Chapter, is a carefully paced, character-driven JRPG that focuses on world-building and emotional growth as much as combat. Gameplay blends classic turn-based battles with light tactical elements, where positioning, turn order, and ability timing matter, while exploration across towns and countryside keeps progression grounded and deliberate. The combat system encourages smart use of crafts, arts, and status effects rather than raw power, rewarding preparation and understanding of enemy behavior. Outside battles, the structure revolves around completing Bracer Guild requests, which naturally introduce side stories, develop NPCs, and make the world feel lived in rather than quest-driven. The story follows Estelle Bright and her companion Joshua as they travel across the kingdom of Liberl, starting with small, personal tasks that slowly build into political intrigue and emotional conflict. What sets the narrative apart is its patience, allowing relationships to evolve naturally and giving weight to quiet moments alongside major plot turns. Dialogue is rich and consistent, ensuring even minor characters feel relevant.
Looks like there aren't any monsters around here now.
Must have ran away in fear from the great Bracer Estelle!
You're not a bracer yet. Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment reworks the classic Warriors formula into a more refined, story-driven action experience deeply rooted in Zelda lore. Gameplay centers on large-scale battlefield combat, where you cut through massive enemy forces using character-specific combos, special attacks, and evasive maneuvers that feel weighty and responsive rather than purely chaotic. Unlike traditional Musou titles, encounters reward tactical awareness, encouraging players to manage objectives, switch characters strategically, and adapt to shifting battle conditions. Combat depth is expanded through mechanics inspired by modern Zelda systems, including elemental interactions and synergized abilities that add variety and prevent repetition. Progression focuses on refining movesets and experimenting with different playstyles across a diverse cast, each bringing unique strengths to the battlefield. The story frames the imprisoning war from multiple perspectives, giving narrative weight to the conflicts and grounding the action in themes of sacrifice, duty, and resistance against overwhelming darkness. While spectacle is front and center, the game balances it with lore-rich missions and dramatic set pieces tied to iconic locations.
To think that the very king and queen of Hyrule would be traveling around purifying evil.
I wouldn't have it any other way. To protect one's kingdom is the greatest pride a ruler could ask for.
That?
Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake brings two genre-defining adventures back to life by carefully modernizing their mechanics while preserving the simplicity that made them iconic. Gameplay remains rooted in classic turn-based combat, where strategic command selection, spell management, and resource planning define every encounter. But thoughtful quality-of-life improvements refine pacing and reduce friction without undermining challenge. Dragon Quest I focuses on a solitary hero's journey, emphasizing preparation and survival as you explore a cohesive overworld. While Dragon Quest II expands the formula with a full party, introducing clearer role differentiation and more tactical decision-making in battles. Exploration feels more inviting thanks to smoother navigation and clearer feedback systems, encouraging players to fully engage with towns, dungeons, and world traversal. The HD 2D visual style enhances atmosphere by combining expressive pixel art with modern lighting and depth, giving familiar locations renewed warmth and scale. Storytelling remains straightforward yet purposeful, centered on heroism, legacy, and the enduring fight against darkness, with added narrative touches that enrich character moments and world context without rewriting the originals. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition delivers a dense, choice-driven RPG experience that blends immersive storytelling with flexible, systems-heavy gameplay. Set in the sprawling metropolis of Night City, the game puts you in control of V, a customizable mercenary whose skills, cyberware, and decisions shape how every situation unfolds. Gameplay mixes first-person combat with deep RPG progression, allowing players to specialize in gunplay, stealth, hacking, or hybrid builds that creatively combine cybernetic abilities with environmental manipulation. Combat encounters reward preparation and experimentation, while hacking systems let you control enemies, cameras, and machinery to turn the city itself into a weapon. Exploration is driven by richly designed districts filled with side quests, gigs, and character-driven stories that often rival the main narrative in emotional impact. The story focuses on identity, power, and survival in a world ruled by corporations, with branching dialogue and meaningful choices that influence relationships and outcomes rather than funneling players into a single path. The Ultimate Edition's expanded content deepens both narrative and gameplay layers, reinforcing the sense that Night City is reactive and alive.
Hello?
Come in. Come in.
Ah, raised you finally.
Willie McCoy, it's good to hear your voice.
Fee. Wish I could say the same.
Hades 2 builds on the strengths of its predecessor, while confidently expanding both mechanical depth and narrative ambition. Gameplay centers on fast, precise combat that rewards reflexes, positioning, and build awareness, with Melinoe wielding a diverse set of weapons and abilities that emphasize deliberate timing rather than pure aggression. The addition of magic-based techniques and empowered moves introduces a new layer of risk-reward decision-making, encouraging players to balance raw damage with resource management during intense encounters. Each run is shaped by a wide range of boons, upgrades, and synergies that allow for highly flexible playstyles, ensuring no two attempts feel identical. Progression extends beyond individual runs through meaningful hub upgrades and character interactions, reinforcing a strong sense of long-term growth. The story unfolds organically through repeated attempts, focusing on fate, rebellion, and identity, as Melinoe confronts powerful forces tied to Greek mythology, with rich dialogue and evolving relationships giving emotional weight to the cycle of failure and mastery. World design is broader and more varied, offering distinct paths and challenges that deepen replayability.
For what you did to me.
Hollow Knight Silksong refines the Metroidvania formula with faster movement, sharper combat, and a strong focus on skill-based mastery that rewards patience and precision. Playing as Hornet fundamentally changes the flow of gameplay, emphasizing agility, momentum, and deliberate offense rather than defensive play, with acrobatic jumps, quick dashes, and tightly timed attacks forming the core loop. Combat is demanding but fair, pushing players to learn enemy patterns, manage spacing, and make smart use of tools and abilities rather than relying on simple evasion. Exploration remains central, unfolding across a vast, interconnected world filled with vertical challenges, hidden routes, and secrets that gradually open up as movement upgrades are unlocked. Each area blends platforming and combat seamlessly, ensuring progression always feels earned. The story is conveyed through atmosphere, environmental details, and brief but meaningful character encounters, following Hornet's journey through the mysterious kingdom of Farloom as she uncovers its traditions, dangers, and deeper truths tied to Silk and Song. Rather than explicit exposition, narrative meaning emerges through discovery and interpretation. Donkey Kong Bananza redefines Donkey Kong as a bold, sandbox-style 3D platformer built around physical interaction and player freedom. Gameplay centers on fully destructible environments, allowing Donkey Kong to punch, smash, grab, and reshape terrain to uncover hidden paths, secrets, and collectibles, making exploration feel dynamic rather than scripted. Progression is driven by discovering Banandium gems, which feed into upgrades that enhance mobility, durability, and special abilities, encouraging experimentation with different approaches to traversal and combat. The world is structured as a series of vast underground biomes, each with distinct themes and challenges, where optional objectives and hidden challenge areas reward mastery of movement and environmental manipulation. Transformative power-ups inspired by animals introduce new mechanics, altering how DK moves, fights, and solves puzzles, ensuring constant variation throughout the adventure. Combat emphasizes momentum and environmental creativity over precision combos, blending naturally with platforming and exploration. The story unfolds subtly as Donkey Kong teams up with a mysterious companion while confronting a corporate threat that exploits the world's resources, giving narrative context without overshadowing gameplay. And there you have it, the top 10 perfect 10 out of 10 Nintendo Switch 2 games. What games are you playing on your Switch 2? Let me know in the comments which of these titles you think deserves the #1 spot, and what other games you think could crack this list in the future. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch 2 coverage. Until next time!